So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, wanted to seek the blessings of Radha Madhav, Radha Shamsundar, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Gaunitai, Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. And we'd like to seek the blessings of Sita, Ram, Lakshmana, and Hanuman. Today is the appearance day of Sitadevi. And it's always very good to remember these personalities on their appearance day and get their blessings. Blessings are so important because without blessings, what are we? We're nothing. And blessings are the good wishes of these great personalities who can help us on our way, on our spiritual journey. So who is Sita Devi? The Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, verses 6 and 7 explain. O King, the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra were wonderful, just like those of a baby elephant. In the assembly where Mother Sita was to choose her husband, in the midst of the heroes of this world, he broke the bow belonging to Lord Shiva. This bow was so heavy, it was carried by 300 men, but Lord Ramachandra bent and strung it and broke it in the middle, just as a baby elephant breaks a stick of sugar cane. Thus the Lord achieved the hand of Mother Sita, who was equally as endowed with transcendental qualities of form, beauty, behavior, age, and nature. Indeed, she was the goddess of fortune, who constantly rests on the chest of the Lord. So this gives us a little clue as to the position of Lord Shiva, Mother Sita. While returning from Sita's home after gaining her at the assembly of competitors, Lord Ramachandra met Parshuram. Although Parshuram was very proud, having rid the earth of the royal order 21 times, he was defeated by the Lord, who appeared to be a Kshatriya of the royal order. So this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, amazing verses, which are very authoritative. So this is a deity going back some time. Sri Mul Ram, the original deity of King Ikshwaku. Now, King Ikshwaku comes in the line of Vivaswan, the sun god. So from the sun god, Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Vivaswan, who spoke it to Ikshwaku. So this is going back a very, very long time. Who was given, so this deity was given to Maharaj Dashrath before Ram's birth. And then it was given to Lakshman, who worshipped them during Ram's lifetime, who gave them to Hanuman, who in the forest gave them to Bhim, and was given to Nara Hari Tirtha, who gave to Ananda Tirtha of the Madhvacharya line. Now they reside in the Raghu Vandra Vendra Tirtha Swami Mutmat at Mantralayam, Andhra Pradesh. So these deities go back so many years. This is Sita Ram Lakshman. Sita Devi is the eternal consort of Lord Ram. Gaudiya Vaishnavas understand that Sita Devi is an incarnation of Radha Rani, just as Ram is an incarnation of Krishna. Sita Devi is therefore not a Jiva Tattva like us. Whenever the Lord descends, she also appears with him. For example, with Vishnu, she is Lakshmi. With Ram, she is Sita. With Krishna, she is Radha. With Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she appears as Gadadhar. Yes, Pravin? You must be muted, huh? We can't hear you.
I missed a little bit because somebody called at the door. And you was talking about that picture.
Oh, yeah.
Will you able to repeat again?
Oh, yes. So this is a deity going back billions of years. Sita Ram Lakshman.
All right. Yes.
It known as Mool Ram, the original deity of King Ikshwaku. And this deity was given to Maharaj Dashrath before Ram's birth. Maharaj Dashrath gave it to Lakshman. Lakshman gave that deity to Hanuman. Hanuman gave it to Bhim. And now this deity is sitting in this mutt here, Raghavendra Tirtha Swami Mutt in Mantralayam in Andhra Pradesh. So one can actually go and see the deity there. So
Are
very
are you saying the deities were before Sita and Ram came?
Oh, long before. Long before. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Ikshwaku is a very ancient king. He goes back to the beginning of the sun, Vivaswan.
It's so amazing, like the way you we know nothing about it, but the way you said just now, it's just strike in my mind. Oh my God! So Ram, Sita, Lakshman was even before they were born.
Oh yeah, because they eternally exist.
Yeah.
Eternally they exist. So when they come to this earth, they're not born; they just appear.
Yeah, they appear. Yeah. Anyway, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Madhubin.
our Gotra is Ikshwaku.
Wow, seriously, that's amazing.
I found it a few years back when I went to India.
Okay.
And where
Wow.
our village, and I've been there, and I found that our that Ikshwaku is our Gotra.
Very good.
Is Ikshwaku was a king? I was thinking it was a sum of Brahma's first four.
No.
No, after seven, what was they born?
The Saptarishi, after the Saptarishi.
Saptarishi. I was thinking one of them, is it?
No.
No.
Usually the Gotra is from the Saptarishi, but they don't have to always be. But Vivaswan is the sun god, Suryadev.
Yeah.
His disciple was Ikshwaku. So this is
Okay.
going back a long time. Yeah, a long time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you anyway. Thanks.
Thank you. As part of her earthly pastimes with Ram, Sitadevi is the daughter of earth goddess Bhumi Devi and the central figure of the Ramayana, included in all the khandas. So Sita Devi appears in all the 6 khandas. In Valmiki's own words, Ramayana is known as the noble story of Sita. Sitayaha Charitam Mahat. So this is very interesting. It's called Ramayana, but actually it's a story of Sita. Sorry, just mute. The grandson of Ikshwaku was King Nimi, who was cursed to die and had an option to live again, but chose not to. Very interesting. He could have lived again, but he knows he's going to have to die anyway. So why? It's the body that dies anyway, but he will continue to live. So this dynasty is called Vedeha. Vedeha basically don't need the body to continue. Janakaraj was born in that dynasty in Mithala and was childless, doing sacrifice. Janakaraj was plowing land to prepare it for conducting the yajna, to do that sacrifice, to obtain a child. He unearthed a golden casket in which he found a beautiful girl and was overjoyed. The land plowed by the yoke is called Sita, and so he named the baby Sita. So this is Janakaraj plowing, finding this cascade which is containing Sita. So she had no ordinary birth. With the arrival of the baby, the king's good luck soared. His queen also gave birth to a daughter named Urmila. The 2 beautiful girls, by their noble qualities, good behavior, and intelligence, endeared themselves to one and all and grew to become ideal princesses. Sita Devi was extraordinarily beautiful, but absorbed in worshipping the deity of the Lord of the Surya Vams. Parshuram, one time, came to visit Janakaraj. So Parshuram is Shaktivesh avatar, one of the Dasavatars. He came to visit Janakaraj and gave him the famous Shiva's bow to look after. So there were 2 very famous bows, Shiva's and Vishnu's. Parshuram had the possession of Shiva. He gave it to the care of Janakaraj because he trusted Janakaraj. It would take 300 men to lift the bow, to move it. However, one day Sitadevi was playing with her friends and the ball went under the bow. She easily lifted the bow and got the ball out. When Janakaraj heard this, he was shocked, and he decided that the only suitable match for her would be one who can lift the bow at a Swayamvar in due course. So this is the wonderful pastime. She lifted that bow very easily. Years later, the sage Vishwamitra, accompanied by his disciples Ram and Lakshman, arrived at Mithila. This is the glorious Ram. Such a beautiful, beautiful picture. A Swayamvara was arranged and Ram raised the bow with ease and strung an arrow. Of course, others tried and miserably failed. But Ram, as he bent the bow, it broke. This made such a sound that everyone fainted. This is glorious. Sitadevi came with the garland, but the Ram said he could not marry without the permission of his father. This is culture, this is etiquette. And Ram was the personification of that etiquette. The news reached King Dashrath, who rushed to Mithila. With his entourage in great anticipation, Dashrath happily gave his permission. And then the marriage of Ram and Sitadevi was celebrated in a grand manner. This is Sita Swayamvar. This is the whole entourage, including the brothers who also married Sita's sister and 2 cousin sisters. At this time, Lakshman married Sitadevi's sister Urmila. Bharat and Shatrughna married Sitadevi's cousins Mandavi and Shrutikirti. Apart from their eternal relationship, Sitadevi was happy to marry Ram because of the following reasons. So this is quite interesting now. Because of course they're eternally connected, but there are other reasons as well. The day before, she had seen Ram and already had given her heart to Ram. She also knew the ability of Ram to protect her due to his great strength and the ability to clearly express what is in his heart. Usually a man thinks how to deal with a problem, whereas a woman may deal with the problem through discussion. So this is quite common. Right? Men usually are very quiet when there's problems and they try to deal with it themselves. But usually you find women, they want to discuss it, and then through discussion, they're managing to deal with the problems. Ram had great self-control and discipline. People have fought wars to marry Sita. But Ram, although qualified, asked for permission first. He could have just said, yes, you're my wife, let's get married. But he said, no, I have to observe the etiquette. I have to ask my parents. So this really impressed Sita. Now, Janakaraj also knew the power of Sita. He placed the hand of Sitadevi over Ram. Usually it's the other way around. Because Ram was now under the care of the divine love of Sitadevi. So Janakaraj, although he knew the position of Ram, he also understood the power of his daughter. This was due to compassionate nature of Sita. Ram would also not kill any demon in front of Sita. So she was so compassionate. He wouldn't be able to get away with even harming a demon. She was such a kind personality. And Janaka explained the qualities of Sita Devi to Ram. So this was such an interaction. This marriage was something else, you know. It wasn't just a case of a social gathering and, you know, get married, eat, sleep, and be happy, sort of thing. So he explains, Janaka explains the qualities of Sita. She was born in an extraordinary way, just like you, because Ram was born through the sweet rice from the yagya. when you follow Dharma, this is Janakraj telling Sita, she will follow you. And if you deviate from the path of Dharma, she will advise you. And she does, actually. She does on several occasions. This is the extraordinary relationship between this divine couple. When Ram was exiled and wanted Sita to stay and look after the mother and father, she corrected Ram that the Dharampatni and the Dharampati cannot be separated. This is the effect of karma. They're intertwined in joy and sorrow. So Ram wanted her to stay back, but she said, no, my karma is linked with you. I have to come with you. I'd rather be with you in the forest than in the palace without you. So I'd rather be with you in the forest, yeah, than in the palace without you, yeah. Ram vowed to kill demons in the forest Danda Karanya for the protection of the sages. Sita was worried and revealed her mind to Ram that, why are you wearing the clothes of a sage, the satyrs' clothes, and then you got to kill? And then Ram considered her advice and he explained his reasons why he had to, because he was a representative of the king. And as a representative of the king, even if he was wearing the clothes of a sage, he still had to conduct the duties that, because he was a representation of the king. But Sita was not scared to tell him, say to him, advise him. And then another thing Janak says to Ram, Sitadevi is like a shadow with prosperity. She will follow, and with difficulties, she will lead. For example, she led in the forest, and she also led him to Ravan. So she, for example, dropped her jewelry on the way so that they could see which direction she was going, even though she was facing a lot of difficulties. Of course, we also understand that it wasn't the real Sitadevi that was kidnapped by Ravan. Anyway, after hearing all of this, Lord Ramachandra, at that time, he took a vow of Ekapatni Vrata. I will only keep one wife. After hearing Janakraj's, because in those days, kings sometimes had many wives, but Lord Ramachandra made that vow. I will only take one wife, Sitadevi. So after 12 years of happy royal family life, her circumstances led to the banishment of Ram to the forest for 14 years. Sitadevi persuaded Ram that she should go too. Lakshman also joined them in the forest. And he wouldn't sleep for 14 years. Such was his loyalty to Ram that he would only, and such was his loyalty to Ram that he would only recognize Sitadevi by seeing her feet. This is glorious Lakshman. Bharat came when they were in the forest with the residents of Ayodhya to persuade Ram to come back to the kingdom. But Ram would not break the promise of his father. Eventually, the three of them, Sita, Ram, Lakshman, moved to Panchavati, where Surpanaka nose was cut off by Lakshman. Ram single-handedly destroyed the 14,000 army of Kara. And this wasn't within the vision of Sita. He did it when she was being looked after by Lakshman. So, roles of Sita in the Ramayana. She's divine mother with the concept of love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness. She had a role of Dharampatni with the concept of companionship, support, service, advice. She's some lessons also that we can learn from attachment or temptation, maybe. The deer which came, who was Marichi, in disguise as a deer, he was called Abhiram. When we are attracted to something other than Ram, then Ram walks away. So Sita became attracted to that deer, and Ram went after the deer. So this is just a little lesson for us to learn. It's not no criticism of Sitadevi in any way whatsoever. She also at one point accused Lakshman for staying with her, not looking out for Ram, going to find Ram. So that was quite a tough moment in Ramayana. Mm-hmm. And then Ravan entered at that time disguised as a saint, and he took Sita Devi to Lanka and kidnapped her away. And where she was surrounded by this one-eyed monster and the one-eared demons representing I and mine attitude of the materialist in this world. So the point of this is it is very easy to get wrapped up and caught up in this material world. And once we're caught in it, we get deeper and deeper in it. So we have to be very careful. So let's have a look at the interaction of Hanuman and Sita Devi. Hanuman comes when Ravan is approaching Sita Devi in Ashokvan. Hanuman is hidden and he sees Sita Devi holds a blade of grass towards Ravan. This is so amazing. She's got this blade of grass in her hand there. She's shouldering it, and there's Hanuman in the tree. There's Ravan demanding, come and stay in my palace. So, although she was a prisoner, she didn't forget the rule of Atiti Devo Bhava, the etiquette of how to treat uninvited guests. So she held up this bit of grass to show the etiquette that, I'm offering you this blade of grass. Between men and stranger, there must be, women and stranger, there must be separation. So a woman should never go with a stranger. There must be that separation. This grass for Ram is Brahmastra. This grass represents, this blade of grass is like the Brahmastra weapon for Ram. This grass will be in Ravan's mouth when he loses. So this is quite interesting. Sita Devi, it was distraught, so distraught. However, Hanuman, he knew the perfect antidote. He recited Ramayana while hiding. He was singing the glories of Ram in the tree. He didn't want to scare her to come in front of her because he looked strange. So he was just reciting, and Sita Devi was listening, thinking, wow, who is this chanting? So this is very important instruction for somebody who's reciting Ramayana. The narrator of Ramayana should be hidden, just like Hanuman was hidden. And Ram should be in the front. Sometimes we see the speakers of Ramayana, they come out in the forefront and they're speaking about Ram. But actually, it should be Ram in the forefront, not the speaker. And then later Hanuman gave her Ram's ring to assure her that he was a genuine person. When she saw that, she was so happy. She accepted Hanuman straight away. And she saw this little Hanuman and she questioned, it's so nice you've come, but you're so small. How is Ram with your monkey army going to come and defeat this terrible Ram? So then Hanuman immediately showed her his huge size. Then Sita Devi asked her, what is your real size? And in humility, he said, it's very tiny. Hanuman is so amazing. Hanuman then said to Sita, I can rescue you, I can take you to Ram straight away. But Sita Devi said, no, I've never touched a man willingly. So I cannot come with you. Please go back to Ram, tell him, come quickly to rescue me. She says to Hanuman that Ram should rescue her within 60 days. She gave that request to Hanuman. The estimated timeline, which needs to be confirmed, is as follows. 2 days it took for Hanuman to, so from the day that Sita Devi said to Hanuman, we calculated 60 days. 2 days, Hanuman was captured, he burnt Lanka. 5 days, Hanuman reached back to Ram. Another 20 days it took to march from to Rameshwar, from where the monkeys were, by Ram and the monkey army. 3 days, Ram waited for the ocean to come. Another 20 days to build the 800-mile bridge. Can you imagine? And then there was 10 days, the Sera, the 10-day war in Lanka. That's the 60 days. After Ravan was killed, Sitadevi was rescued on the 60th day. Shortly after that, she was also the end of the 14th year. And Bharat had vowed to kill himself if Ram did not return at the end of the 14th year. Was Sitadevi really kidnapped? In the Kurma Purana, Sita prays to Agni just when Ravan arrives to kidnap her. Agni creates Maya Sita, an exact double of Sita, who takes the place of Sita when she crosses the Lakshman Rekha and is thus abducted by Ravan. So it wasn't the real Sita. The real Sita was in Agni Dev's palace. So when she crossed the Lakshman Rekha, Agni Dev replaced the real Sita with Maya Sita, which is very interesting. While Sita is taken by Agni to heaven, Maya Sita is confined in Lanka. After Ravan's death, Maya Sita enters the fire at the Agni Pariksha. So this Pariksha was required so that the real Sita would come back. Agni would bring back the real pure Sita to Lord Ram. Otherwise, who can touch the consort of the Supreme Lord? There's Agni Dev there, bringing back the Sita, real Sita. Gauranga met this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He met a Brahmin, Ram Bhakt in Madurai. And he was devastated that Mother Sita was stained by Ravan's touch. So he gave up food. But then Gauranga consoled the Brahmin, saying, actually, Maya Sita was taken by Ravan. Sitadevi's compassion. After Ravan was killed, Hanuman went to Ashokavan to meet Sitadevi and inform her of the good news of Ram's victory. Sita was extremely delighted on hearing this and asked Hanuman to ask for any boon he desired. Sri Hanuman was full of anger against the demons who were guarding Sitadevi because they were always causing trouble for her. So he wanted permission to kill them. Mother Sita exhibited her unlimited compassion and magnanimity when she said that those Rakshashis were simply and helplessly working under the instructions of evil Ravan as his servants, and it is not right to punish them. So this is the exemplary quality of Sitadevi. At that time, she told the following story of the hunter deer, lion and deer. Once a hunter in the forest tripped and fell down, and while hunting a lion and lost his weapons. The lion then started chasing the hunter. The hunter ran, he climbed upon a tree. On the tree, he could see that there was a bear sitting. The man was completely helpless, and he took shelter of the bear, requesting the bear to spare his life. Meanwhile, the lion came to the bottom of the tree and instigated the bear to push the man down so that they could both eat the man. The bear refused, saying that the man had taken shelter of him and hence he would not push him down. After some time, the bear started sleeping, and the lion told the hunter, I feel very hungry, so you push the sleeping bear down from the tree. I can kill him and eat him, and you can be relieved. The ungrateful hunter, so much concerned about his own life, pushed the sleeping bear. But the bear somehow woke up while falling down and caught hold of a branch of the tree and was saved. The lion told the bear that even though the bear tried to save the hunter, he was so ungrateful that to push him down. Hence, the bear should now help the lion by pushing the hunter. The saintly bear replied that great souls never have the inimical attitude towards others, and it is their nature to be compassionate, even if the others are of a bad nature. Thus, the bear stood by its principles, did not harm the hunter, who was greatly ashamed seeing the behavior of the bear. This is such a phenomenal pastime. Sitadevi told that story to Hanuman. So this is a really amazing story. So this is the return of Sita, Ram, Lakshman coming back, Ayodhya. First person they went to greet was the person who sent them away, KK. And then later they were made king and queen. They ruled Ayodhya.
So sorry, Prabhuji, जो अग्नि परीक्षा ओरिजिनल सीताजी હતા કે
No, original Sitaji was brought back from Agni Dev's palace in the heavens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the real Sita came back. That's why they had to do the pariksha.
Sorry, what is a pariksha? And
Pariksha is the, when Sitadevi was rescued, Ram said, no, we have to test her purity. She may have become
Exam.
impure by the touch of Ravan. And everybody was shocked. What are you saying, Lord Ram? How can you say this about Sita? We know she's pure. He insisted, no, there has to be a fire. She has to walk through the fire. And he ordered Lakshman, you make the fire. And Lakshman was, he's dumbfounded. He said, how can you do this, Ram? This is Mother Sita. And at that time, Lakshman made a vow. I will never take the birth. I will never come as your younger brother again. I'll come as your older brother next time. Because I don't want to follow orders like this.
sorry, I
He
didn't
had,
quite.
he had to follow.
I didn't understand the thing about the fire.
Yeah,
Why-
I'm getting to it. So he made the fire. Then the reason the fire was made was Agni Dev, who is the god of fire, had taken the real Sita to the heavens, replacing her by a Maya Sita.
Mhm.
The Maya Sita went through the Agni and was replaced by the real Sita. So the real Sita came out of the Agni Pariksha, the Agni fire. So the Maya Sita was replaced by Agni Dev for the real Sita. That's why the Pariksha was done, to bring back the real Sita. Because Ram knew this is not the real Sita. I will not be with real, Maya Sita. I will be with real Sita.
So fire, when she went in the fire, it was a Maya or original?
Yeah,
Still
the
I'm not-
Maya Sita went in and
Yeah.
the real Sita came out.
So real
No.
Sita came out, and then when they came to Dasrath or whatever, that time the real Sita was with him.
Yeah. Because Ram can never be with the Maya Sita.
So
Mm.
so then now when did Rama when did Lord Ram knew that Ravana had kidnapped only the Maya Sita?
Well, he's a Supreme Lord. He's always known. But
So then
because he's
so-
come as a human being
yes.
in this world, he's behaving like a human being. He was crying when Mother Sita was kidnapped. He was lamenting. He was showing all the signs of somebody who's very attached to one's wife because he came as an ordinary human being.
So you're saying that he didn't know that, so he actually thought at that time that his real wife Sita was taken by Ravana.
Yes, but remember, he is the Supreme Lord. He can play the role of both omniscience and the human role at the same time.
So then,
Yeah.
if so that means that even though he was still in the human form, he must have known that that's the Maya Sita that Ravana took.
Yes, he knew both, but he
So then
could.
why did he? So then,
Because
if
he can take
did
both
that-
roles. Because he can take both roles. He can take the role of an omniscient Lord, but at the same time, he can be like a worried husband. Just like Krishna, when he's chased by Mother Yashoda with a stick, he's scared. But at the same time, he knows he is the Supreme Lord. They both function hand in hand. He has this, you can feel
I get
fear.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, but
In the same way, Ram, exactly the same way.
yes, but my question is then why did he then go to fight with Ravana? Because he knew this whole time that's just the Maya
Because
Sita
he
that he
can
has.
play both roles. That's the whole point. He can play both roles. And why did he fight with Ravan? The reason is, in the spiritual world, he can't fight with anybody. He wants to sometimes have a fight, you know? Just like, you know, we see the school kids in the playground, they're having a tug of war, right? They love it. So Lord Ram also loves to fight. But in the spiritual world, nobody will fight with him. As soon as he picks up the arrow, bow and arrow, everybody's bowing down to him. But
aren't
wait, just hear the answer first. Hear the answer first. So they send somebody special to this world to give Lord a fight. He comes from the material world, and one of the pastimes that he enjoys is a fight. Now, he doesn't fight with anybody ordinary. Who is Ravan? Ravan actually is one of the gatekeepers in Vaikuntha. Ravan was not a demon, but he played the role of a demon in this world in order to give the Lord a fight. It's all interconnected.
I get that, but you know, then that also begs the question. We're that we told. So basically, Rama. So what you're saying is that Rama wanted to have a fight and to kill, and there was nobody else that he could fight and kill. That's actually strong enough apart from Ravana. I mean, that's what you're trying to say, yes?
Yeah, he was sent for
Okay.
that purpose.
Right. So then that begs the question: aren't we supposed to not to have feelings of anger and violence and killing? So
Ourselves?
yes, isn't that
No,
we're
not
trying to?
necessarily. It has its place, like Hanuman, for example, right? Hanuman is peaceful, but he also can get angry, but only in the service of the Lord. We don't have the right to just become angry at a moment's notice without there being a reason for it. And the only justifiable reason within the spiritual context is when you are fighting for Ram or you're fighting for the devotees. So anger is within us. Yes, of course it is. And we can use that anger in the service of the Lord, not use it to be destructive on our own, for our own cause. Does that make sense?
So then anger isn't one of those deadly sins that we should
No, of course
destroy,
it isn't. Of course it isn't. We can use everything. We can
lust.
use. No, even lust is not one of those things. The only thing you can't use in the service of the Lord is envy. Envy. This person is better than me. I wish him to collapse. Envy is the only thing that is very, very hard to utilize in the service of the Lord. Lust can be. We can lust for the Lord. Anger can be. We can fight for the devotees, fight for the Lord. Greed,
Right.
greed
But not
can be. Greed
okay,
can
but
be.
right. So that's why. So, but lust cannot be misplaced because I think in our human form we have lust for the opposite sex. So
Well, this is the
that is
whole
wrong.
point. No, it's not. It's not wrong.
Oh.
Lust can be dovetailed. See, you can't get rid of the lust. Lust is within us. But what you can do is dovetail it towards the Supreme Lord. When you dovetail it towards the Supreme Lord, then you're using that lust, which is going to be there, whether you like it or you don't. It's going to be there, but you're using it in the proper way.
You see, what I've been told was that we are so fallen that we had only lust for Rama, for Krishna. But when we fell down to earth, it got so perverted that it got then misplaced to the opposite sex, and so that we should abandon all feelings of lust towards the opposite sex, and therefore in doing so we gain only love towards Krishna.
Well, whatever you learned, you're going to have to unlearn it.
Okay.
The reason being, the lust will, the manifestation of lust will not go away, right? And it will remain. And in fact, you don't want it to go away. What you want to do is guide it or direct it in the right source. Because if you direct it in the right way, then you will achieve great spiritual progress at a very fast. You can't artificially abandon lust. It's
But
not.
in one of the discourses I saw with Prabhupada,
Mhm.
he actually was condemning lust. He was saying this is disgusting. We should not have it.
Yeah, of course, the gross lust, but the lust is not lust,
I
anger,
don't.
greed. These are things which are inherent within.
Yeah, I
And
know, but he was trying to say that we should not have it. That I mean,
yeah, but okay.
I can
One
forward
thing
you
is,
the actual video.
yeah,
And
no, you don't need to. What I'm trying to say to you is,
yeah,
what you can do is redirect that lust.
right.
Whether you like it or not, it's gonna remain. But
Yes.
when we use that lust in the service of the Lord, then we're using it for our betterment. You cannot, you see, you can't artificially renounce something. We don't have the strength. But what we can do is say to the Lord, my dear Lord, I have this lust for this person, but I want to direct it to you. Please help me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't artificially denounce anything. Who are we to renounce anything? But we are something to ask the Lord, please help us.
And you made a very nice point there also, Prabhuji, about if you go back to one of those previous slides, so you mentioned that the narrator shouldn't be at the forefront or with the back. Could you expand on that a little bit more? So are you saying that even when we are talking, that if I'm going to explain this story of Ram and Sita to somebody else who doesn't even know about all this stuff, I should somehow hide behind?
No, not literally hide. But the
Uh-huh.
point is, you don't glorify yourself. You glorify the Lord Ram. But there are many speakers who will use a lot of poetry and wonderful things. You know, they'll seek the applause of the congregation. It shouldn't be like that. What it should be is the direction of travel of that pravachan must be to glorify Ram, not to glorify that person who's speaking the Ramayana.
And what was the significance of holding the blade of glass
Basically, it was a number of things. There was Atiti Devo Bhava. She was offering that grass, you know, that you come to my ashram, although it was his prison. But Atiti Devo Bhava means when a unwanted, uninvited guest comes to your house, you must respect them. That you treat them like God. So she was offering that grass, and she was also offering it as a barrier,
kind
a
of
wall
barrier, yeah.
between us, a wall between us. This grass
Yeah.
represents that wall, and she was also saying, Ram will destroy you with his Brahmastra, and this grass will be in your tongue.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So how are we doing? Oh my God, 5 o'clock.
So,
But I have to stop.
sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes.
You say, so Ram was a avatar, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Ram is
So
one of
what
the-
about, so Lakshman is also avatar because of he
Yeah.
was in a early
Yes.
Sesnag's avatar is Lakshman, isn't it?
It is. Bharat and
Yeah, so
Shatrugna are also avatars.
they,
All four of them.
the four of them avatar, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that means they all know what's going on and what happening.
Yes. They're all completely in full knowledge. But when they come to this world, they behave like ordinary human beings.
Yeah, only they behave, but mentally
They
they
know.
were prepared. Yeah.
They fully know. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks anyway. Thank you.
So we can very quickly, otherwise we'll end up doing this tomorrow. This act, why did Ram abandon Sita, right? Now, this is actually something that's not accurate. This act by Ram has been scrutinized by spiritualists. Selflessness demonstrated by Ram and dignity by Sitadevi. When rumors began, Ram was obliged to act because he had the role of the king. He was a king first and foremost. The dilemma was for higher purpose. Ram sent Sita away. But actually, it was separation. It was not abandonment because he had taken her to, Lakshman had taken her to Valmiki's ashram, which was still under Ram's protection. Sita was, of course, brokenhearted, but she completely understood. Ram also didn't remarry. If he had separated from her, he could have remarried. But when there was a yagya and he was told that there has to be your wife next to you, he made a murti of Sita. He didn't marry. So this is the murti of Sita. Sita also had no bad feelings towards Ram, as exemplified by her sons, Love and Kush, who recited Ramayana as taught by Valmiki. So she obviously felt great love. Sita stopped Love and Kush when they were going to fight against Ram. They didn't know that this is their father. And then she introduced Ram as their father. And also we have to understand there's a higher purpose why things happen. There was a curse by Bhrigu Muni to Lord Vishnu that you will be separated from your Dharampatni one time. So this was part of a greater sort of leela that took place. Sitadevi returns to earth. At one such sacrifice, some 15 years later, two boys came to the arena of the sacrifice where Ram was sitting on his asana and recited the Ramayana. Ram was convinced that they were his own sons born to Sita. He sent word to Valmiki that Sitadevi should come and prove her purity and take her place on her side. Sitadevi came and prayed, if Ram has always been foremost in my heart, then may my Mother Earth, Bhumi, herself deliver me. As she spoke, the earth rumbled, shook and cracked open when Sita stood, where Sita Devi stood. And Bhumi Devi then appeared, seated on a throne of incredible natural earthly opulence, surrounded by Naga snakes, and she invited Sita to take her seat alongside her and took Sita away. That beautiful Sitadevi seemingly entered into the earth, though actually she always remains with Lord Ram, just as the sun's rays are always with the sun. So let's stop there. Any last questions?
Could you just slightly go back to the previous slide?
Yes.
Okay. What? No, the one
This
before
one?
that. I think this one. Yeah. What means there were what was it? He had a Morati. What did he say?
Oh, he actually made a deity of Sita in gold.
Okay.
Yeah, he made a deity of Sita in gold. And that deity sat with him whilst the yagya.
Okay, and what do you mean the curse of Bhrigu Muni to Lord Vishnu for being separated from his?
Oh, that was something that happened because, because
and what is a Dharampatni?
Dharampatni is the wife.
Okay.
Dharam means religious, Patni means wife, religious wife. And Dharampati is religious husband. So there was some pastime that took place, which will take a little too long to explain now, but we can go through it another time.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you
Very
for
much.
your attention. Is very good, Rohan. Appreciate that. So let's finish now. Sitadevi ki jai.